Well, um, third time I've watched this now, and I think there's something about watching it with an audience that moved me the most. I can't explain what that is, but yeah, congratulations on this short and sweet, obviously very personal um journey as well. Oh, hello, there you are. Hello. Let me stop sharing now. There we go. Yeah, if anybody, any of you've got any questions you want to write in there, if you're too shy to speak, that's fine. Just drop them in. We'll read them out. But I mean, I've got a couple of things I want to ask. Um, like I've done a bit of video editing, but I'm nowhere near. I couldn't do anything like that. But there is something when you get music, words, imagery, when you get it all together, you must have had a feeling while you were making this, even though you knew what you wanted, where you were like, "Oh, I've got it," you know. So just talk a little bit about that, how you got those visual, the music, and the you start your own story in there, and then when you realised, I've nailed it.
Oh, I don't know. Well, first of all, thank you so much. And thank you for having me. And it's nice to hear that it's landing even the more times you watch it. I think the more I watch it, there are things that I always notice could like always be changed. I think being an editor yourself is sometimes a bit of a curse as a director because you feel like there's always more that can be done, and you know what they say, like a work of art is never finished, it's just abandoned. You just have to kind of leave it at some point. But I think the feeling of completion for me really came when like I clicked all of the pieces of the collaborations into place, like the music, the sound design, the color, when all of those sort of bits came together. I think that first of all gave me an excuse to really think clearly about when it was going to be done, that then I would send it off and that would be the end. So I had to
Yeah.
really kind of wait for that moment. It was really, I think, intuitive because I didn't have like a storyboard for the project at all. I just kind of figured it out as I was making it because it was so personal and I'd never made anything so personal before, and because it was sort of in an experimental format and I didn't really have a template for what that would look like. So um yeah, I think getting it together so that I could then send it off to my colorist or to my sound designer or to the composer was the real point where then when I put those pieces in again, then
Yeah.
I saw it as a finished product.
Yeah, I know what you said at the beginning about you shouldn't really look as an artist. I don't think you should look at your own work when you've completed it. It's like because you see an edit, you think, well, that could have been 2 seconds and not three, and we are a bit like that, aren't we? So,
Totally,
yeah, I'm
totally.
sure you must have
Yeah.
been like that hundreds of times. Like, oh, I wish I'd have done that more. Or, yeah. Nina's commented, I loved it. We're given time to breathe, which is great for taking a moment to absorb the poetry, a beautiful photography.
Thank you. That's so kind. Yeah, I think the one piece of feedback that I get a lot on the film whenever you're right, I think rewatching it over and over can be quite painful if you're the artist, but it's nice and it's really interesting to hear how different groups of people respond differently or similarly to the film. And the one thing that everybody says is like, it really slows you down. And I think in the
Yeah.
world right now, that feels like a really precious thing. So that's a high compliment in my eyes.
Yeah, and I have a quick question as well on that about hugging, but there is a question I thought when I was watching, especially this third time, is that the movements in the frame, everything seems to be going at the same pace as well. Even there's a couple bit you bookend it with someone driving, obviously, and
Mm-mm.
we're going fast, but the land's moving slow. You know, so everything, the waves, the flowers, everything, was that intentional? Did you have to like slow down footage for that? Did you want it to be consistently flowing like that throughout the 6 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, I mean I shot most of it in slow motion, like 50 FPS, so I feel like I knew that I could capture like I could almost I think my intention with the cinematography was trying to really like capture what the landscape actually looks and feels like. And when you're in those majestic kind of landscapes in the Mediterranean, I feel like they really do slow your pace down. And so that was something I thought about when I was shooting it, like, how can I really capture the detail as well of this landscape. And I think having those slower moments to really appreciate it, I guess, kind of was an attempt to replicate like how they kind of make you feel when you're in them for real. So yeah, it was intentional. It's a good thing to notice.
Yeah, and it's funny how you watch things over, and I mean, it's easy for me because I'm not you, so you don't want to watch things because then it's painful. But for me, it's like I get some out of it each time. and I want to go to that place, and it's the words were great. My final question is because we don't have a lot of time, and someone else might jump in, but it was quite short. So you must have had a lot of footage. You must have been painful to get it down to 6. Were you under any restrictions, or was that you wanted it to be under the 10 minutes?
You know, it's funny. I actually used most of the footage that I had. I didn't actually shoot too much for this because I didn't really know I was making it until I was making it. So the footage from Greece was shot while I was writing it at the same time, and I had no idea what I would make with it. And so I kind of had what I had, and I think it was the correct length for the story because again, I kind of just wanted it to be a little vignette of like a moment in time in a place, and then once the script was finished, I went and shot the remaining bits in the south of Italy where my family's from, specifically to fill in those gaps, and so that was a bit more of an organized shoot. But I didn't really shoot too much, which kind of gave me confidence because I'd love to shoot my next project on film, and overshooting is something that you kind of have to really scale back if you're using film. So I feel
Yeah.
like it was good practice for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I will sneak in one more question. Do you intend to make anything fiction, or is documentary your niche?
Ooh, I've never, I mean, I really, really respect fiction directors and filmmakers because I feel like it's something I feel I could never do. But then, the more experimental my practice becomes, the more fictionalized certain things become. And so
Yeah,
I don't want to say no definitively, but I really do. I think there's something about the personal and the real that really speaks to me. Like the fact that
yeah,
it's real is what speaks to me. So I think I'll be in experimental documentary for the near future and traditional documentary too. That's my day
yeah.
to day.
I'm not complaining. Great stuff. Louise has just jumped in there. I was reminded of ocean nymphs and the longing for exploration. Were you reminded of ancient stories like the Odyssey? So were you inspired by any like myths and folklore?
Absolutely. I did classical studies at uni. And the whole reason I chose to study that was because I wanted to know more about this place that my family had come from that I felt so connected to that I didn't necessarily feel I knew the whole story of. And so as I was piecing that story together through archaeology and history and mythology and stuff, it really like brought the place to life and made me start to see those layers. And Topos, the name Topos actually kind of comes from not necessarily a mythology, but like a way of thinking about landscapes that the ancient Greeks kind of are supposed to have had. And the word topos in Greek means place, but at the time it was more of a sense of a place was not just a place, but all these sort of layers of meaning and maps and things that are kind of layered over the topography that really like imbue it with different meanings, whether it's like, the ancestor that lived in that on that hill or the water that's found in that well or the god that guards that kind of part of the country or whatever. You have this mental map, so that's kind of where the title came from as well.
Oh, fantastic. That was a good question then.
Mm,
I saw your face light up. Yeah, it's great. It must be great when someone nails it like that. When someone asks you a question and gets that. Yeah, that's all we've got time for. I sound like a TV show person, but yeah, I mean, we've got a screening later, and I can vouch that Bella, obviously, you've spoken to already, really loved this film, and I loved it. Really
thank
like
you.
refreshing. The problem with this year's documentaries this year, I think we had 3 in competition. We've had a shortage of documentaries and animations this year. I don't know why, but you are in the competition selection, so good luck for a week on Sunday. Hopefully you'll
Thank
join us,
you.
and
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
really lovely, like lovely little refreshing bit of scenery. There's a lot of grim stuff in here. We need this, I think.
Good. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Thank you so much for having me and to everyone for your lovely questions. And I will see you next week.
Definitely look forward to it. Thank you very much, and
Cheers.
congratulations.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye now. Oh, lovely stuff. Okay, I'll let you all go. Thank you very much. That was lovely. And I'll see you later. It's time for my hour break now, so I can go and eat. But yeah, thank you for your questions. That was fantastic. I'll see you all later.